Hello everyone, here we have a Datsun 510 and I made a drift car out of it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take it down the drift zone, show you guys what it can do, how it handles, how it drives, stuff like that. Excuse me. And then head on over to the festival, give you guys a build and tune, and since people have been asking for share codes for builds, like I stopped giving those because nobody ever really, people were just building them on their own. Now people want share codes, so I will be giving the share code in this video. So without further ado, let's get to it. I do want to start by saying that this car is all-wheel drive, and I try to explain this every time I do a drift build. So my reasoning for this car being all-wheel drive is that most of the time when I'm drifting, I'm either going for like a PR in a drift zone, what I'm doing right now is in a drift zone. I'm not necessarily going for a PR, but that's what I'm doing. Like, I'm in a drift zone, I'm getting points, or I'm competition drifting, which same thing, I'm running for points. So it's like all-wheel drive cars just get points a lot more quickly, a lot more efficiently. And then, I mean, like, yeah, if I'm cruising with the guys or whatever, I do have a handful of rear-wheel drive drift cars, which I've done builds for rear-wheel drive drift cars on the channel in the past. I just don't use them as, whoa, I almost like overcorrected and spun around there. But like I'm just like not driving rear-wheel drive cars as much. So that's why, like, I've done videos, I've done builds and whatnot for rear-wheel drive cars, but it's like I'm drifting for, my mustache is like in my nose, so I got like one hand on the controller trying to drive. Where was I though? Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just find myself gunning for points more so than just cruising with friends, drifting around. So, yeah. I personally find rear-wheel drive a little easier to drift, purely because it's like the transitions are a lot smoother, the motions of the car are a lot smoother, it's not as like snappy and aggressive. But yeah. And then of course there's my YouTube shorts before one of you says, oh yeah, you do all-wheel drive on those. And that's because of those snappy, aggressive transitions and movements that make for much better shorts as far as like what I'm doing in the shorts in comparison to a rear-wheel drive car. Which some of those cars are rear-wheel drive, and you can tell that, but those shorts typically don't look as good. Enough about that though. Now that we're almost done with the drift zone, I think we're on like third to last corner or something like that. Looks like we're stacking up a pretty decent score though. I don't think we're going to be able to cross 1 million, which a couple mistakes on my end are the reasoning for that. Like when my mustache was in my nose, I was trying to get it out. But 971,000, still a damn good score. So now let's head on to the festival. Or hold on, I can do it like this, huh? I always forget from time to time I will forget that I could do that. My mind is a mess today. Busy day. A lot of stuff going on. Oh yeah. Before we get into there, I'll bring up the share code while I talk about this. Before we get into the build and tune, as far as my real life cars, my '04 Silverado, I put a Flowmaster Super 40 muffler on it. That thing sounds crazy now. That thing sounds crazy. I've done quite a bit to that car. That new wheels, tires, 360 LED light kit, stuff like that. That truck pretty cool truck. Don't judge me on my username. I made this account and I was like 8 years old. Too much of a cheap ass to change the name. But as far as the other two cars that I have, there's no real updates on those. BMW is still a pain in the ass, and the Firebird is the Firebird. And of course there's my brother's BMW, also a pain in the ass. Share code for the Drift 510 is 401-215-640. One more time, that is 401-215-640. Now if you want to do it yourself, get right on into it. So the engine, I put in the 2.6 liter inline 6 twin turbo, or as we know it, the RB26. And for the drivetrain, we have the all-wheel drive, as I said earlier. The body kit, it's completely optional. If you don't want to put it on, you don't have to. Plain and simple. I like it. I think it's cool. Yeah, you don't have to put that on if you don't want to. Same goes for the aero. Just kind of do whatever you feel like. I took it all off. I put the Forza spoiler on just to give it a little something in the back. Yeah, completely up to you on the aero. Moving on to the tires, you want the Drift tire compound. The width for the wheels, 255 millimeter in the front, and 275 millimeter in the rear. For wheels, do whatever your heart desires. I went with the excuse me, the Advan RSDFs, which are in the sport rim style. As far as wheel size, I mean, you can bump it if you want. I just left the 13s. I like some meat on the tires. We got race transmission, 7-speed, race driveline, drift differential. Obviously, I mean, it is a drift car. Race brakes. Ooh. Drift suspension. I went ooh because I got music playing in the background that you guys can't hear. It's not the background music that you guys hear. It's only I can hear it for copyright reasons. And the song Separate Ways by Journey just came on. That is my favorite song of all time. I love that song. Race front anti-roll bars. Race rear anti-roll bars. No roll cage. And race weight reduction. Moving on to the engine components. We got a race intake, race fuel system, race ignition, race valves, race cams, race exhaust, race engine block, race pistons, race twin turbo. If you want, you can put the anti-lag. I feel like a lot of people hate on the anti-lag, and that's because it doesn't behave like anti-lag systems that people would generally know. Hold on, my phone is going berserk over here. Okay, that's my phone. Sometimes it might be important because my phone just got blown up. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, a lot of people, because it's not like an anti-lag everybody would know. It's more of like a rally anti-lag system that you would see like rally cars have. But yeah, if you want it, put it on. If not, don't. I didn't. I already said race pistons. The noggin ain't noggining. Race flywheel, race oil and cooling, and finally the race intercooler. Moving on over to the tune. Tire pressure 30 front and back. Gearing 2.20 final drive. The rest remains stock. Alignment negative 4.5 in the front, negative 1.0 in the rear. For the toe, positive 2.6 outward in the front, zeroed out for the rear. Front caster angle of 7. Anti-roll bars 12.2 in the front, 13.7 in the rear. Moving on to the springs, 251.1 in the front, 332.2 in the rear. Ride height is 7.8 in the front, 5.9 in the rear. Damping for the rebound is 5.7 in the front, 6.0 in the rear. For the bump, it is 2.5 in the front and 2.7 in the rear. Aero, if you got it, leave it stock. For braking, balance 100% towards the front, 102% pressure. Finally, for the differential, in the front 30% acceleration, 0% deceleration. And then for the rear, 83% acceleration, 0 deceleration. Center balance of 75% towards the rear. And that's a mouthful. Alright. Now, what we're doing back outside is running off the video with donuts. Because that's how we end off all the videos around here. But first, we got to get away from that copyright music. Because your boy does not want a copyright claim of any sort, whether it's a strike or not, on the channel. Had enough of those. You know who you are, Electronic Arts. That's why I don't play Need for Speed on the channel anymore. Like half in the dirt. Like how it doesn't kick up dirt, it's just no smoke there. Anyway, with all of that said and done, thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next video, and that is all from me today.